Hello everyone, welcome back to Football Manager 2017 with Newcastle United, and we are into the 2025 January transfer window. That means that we're only a year away from almost a decade in this game. In fact, it might be 2 seasons, but we are getting really far into this series. It's gone much further than I thought it would, because originally it was only supposed to be for the beta version of the game, but I just enjoyed it a bit too much managing Newcastle, and it seems like you guys enjoyed it too. But I think at some point I will look at doing another series. So if you've got ideas for things that we can do, let me know down in the comments. I'm going to continue this series for quite a while. I'd still like to win the Premier League and Champions League, which is a way off yet. But a new series idea is something we should start thinking about, and what else can we get into. Now, there's already been some transfers, and some pretty big ones at that. If we go to the transfer history, you will see that we have taken our spending for the season to £268 million. That's £250 million, and the majority of it has gone on our star signing, our club record signing by a mile, Gareth Breen. We've brought him in from West Ham, you might remember him. He has scored quite a few goals against us. Now, I brought him in because he is perfect on the right wing and as a striker, and those are the two areas that I'd really want to improve in the club. He's also 24 years old. He's an England regular. He fits the squad registration rules, which makes him just about perfect, and he's got the potential to be as good as Simonsen with a bit more time and a couple of good seasons under his belt. His stats are all very, very good. Finishing and dribbling and first touch all up where I'd want them to be. First touch maybe a little bit higher would be nice, but he will still improve as a player. He's the best player we have on the right wing, and up front he's our second best player alongside Sobral. So that'll just add a bit of depth, because sometimes I've had to play Zivkovic or Sane up front, which is not something I want to be doing. But he's been a consistent 7-point and above performer for West Ham in the 4 seasons that he's been there, or 3.5 seasons he's been there. Performing very well, getting goals, getting assists, and I'm hoping he'll do the same for us. So he's a star signing. Sammy Tuck's the other player. He's just a future option, another backup goalkeeper alongside Gullenbeck, but he will also fit the squad registration rules, and that's kind of where I'm prioritising at the moment, is bringing in youth who will be able to help me with those quotas. For today's game, we are away from home against West Brom, so we're using the away formation. I'm hoping we can get back to winning ways, because we've only won 1 of the last 4 games. Bearing in mind they were very tough opposition. We've got back-to-back games against Sunderland today. You may remember they knocked us out of the FA Cup last season, so we'll be looking for revenge at St James's Park. We'll play them there twice in 3 days in the Cup and League. West Brom away first, and then we will, after those 3 games, move on to Stoke away, Everton at home, and West Ham away. And I'm hoping we can get 6 wins from 6 in this episode. We need it to catch up on the teams above us. Trying to kick off that run, we've got Simonsen, Sobral and Imperiale all leading the line, with Melagoni, Kovacic and Cook the regular starters in midfield. Lucas, Bob, Albini and Augusto make up the back 4, and Tuck, Sammy Tuck, the new goalkeeper, will be starting in goal for his debut. Well, this is the first highlight of the game. We've been playing for nearly an hour and dominating, but haven't created anything good yet, and Augusto's just hit the crossbar, and if that's the closest we've come, I really am a bit concerned. Imperiale's corner sent towards the back post. There's a push in there, and I think that's a penalty. John Lestrange may have just given us a get out of jail free card with that push. Morten Simonson's going to take the penalty, and it's gone straight down the middle to give us the lead. His 25th goal of the season. He recently finished runner-up in the Golden Ball Award, the Ballon d'Or, but he's put us ahead, getting us over that disappointment. Augusto's free kick, cleared away. Kovacic makes sure to get there first. Here's Sobral. He's lost the ball to Witsel. We need to be careful defensively. Could maybe do with dropping off the attacking sort of formation. But here's Sobral. Over to Mamana, who's in a pretty advanced position. Kovacic into Cook. Good ball into Simonsen. First time shot, well saved by Lewis. Kovacic with the corner. Roberto with the header. There's Cook for the finish. Lewis Cook gives us a 2-goal and very comfortable cushion. Bob with the assist. Kovacic with the corner. Finds running in a great position. Tackle comes in from Chong though. Running really should have got the shot off earlier there. And what on earth was that for an attempted header? Luckily, Sammy Tuck makes a save to keep up his clean sheet. Well, it took us a long time to break West Brom down, but all that matters is that we've got the away win in the Premier League. It's a good victory that makes sure we stay in third place, at least for now. Arsenal, with 2 games in hand, can still move above us, but we keep the pressure up on Manchester United in top spot. Well, it is FA Cup third round time. We're taking on Sunderland at St James's Park. We have a battle of revenge on our hands after getting knocked out of the FA Cup latter stages by Sunderland last season. We are giving a debut to record signing Gareth Breen up front. That's mainly because Morten Simonsen went and pulled his hamstring doing some sprints in training. That means he'll be out for about 3 weeks, which is maybe a good thing because Real Madrid have come sniffing around him again. He's led the squad into another mutiny. I've got the squad on side, but Simonsen is in a state of abysmal unhappiness. Which is not what we want from our best player. So hopefully Gareth Breen can step into his boots and we can leave him on the bench for a little bit, but we'll have to see how that develops. Home games are good because we only need 1 striker, but Sobral's been brilliant this season, so I'm not too worried if Simonsen wants to throw his toys out of the pram. Going back to the home formation means Paulo Roberto and Sane are back in the team on the wings. Kovacic is joined by Imperiale in midfield with Cook just behind them. Then it's Lucas, Bob, Mamana and Augusto in the back 4, and Sammy Tuck, after a debut clean sheet, continues in goal. Imperiale sends the ball back to Cook. There's Breen into Sane. Breen with a shot, and Gareth Breen scores 30 seconds into his debut for Newcastle. Bob plays it forward to Kovacic. Now Imperiale. We're still inside 2 minutes in this game. Bob forward to Lucas. Now Kovacic to Paulo Roberto. There's Lucas again. Back to Kovacic. Imperiale. Through to Gareth Breen. He finds Leroy Sane, and it's 2-0 in under 100 seconds. That was 2 goals in under 100 seconds against Sunderland. Lucas gets to that ball and he's found Paulo Roberto on the left wing. Gareth Breen making a run. Breen's in there and Breen smashes it home. He's been involved in all 3 goals so far. Willems with a free kick. And Sammy Tuck comes to claim it. He's been pretty solid. He's not had much to do today at all. But Tuanzebe is going to bring it forward for Sunderland as they look to create something. He's just hanging on to the ball and sends it all the way back to the keeper. Paul Lopez. I'm not sure what Sunderland are trying to do here, but Chauvin. Into Hoy. Now Oscar. Back to Hoy again. He's dinked the ball over the top and Bob has messed up the header and Sammy Tuck has been beaten. That was just a really poor header from Bob. Imperiale looking to respond straight from kickoff. Kovacic through to Breen. He's on a hat-trick. Kovacic again. Just pushing it across midfield. Imperiale waiting for somebody to make a run. He's had to come back inside. There's Augusto with the run into Breen and that's his hat-trick. What a signing he is. He's got a hat-trick on his Newcastle debut at St James's Park against Sunderland in the FA Cup. Sobral in behind the Sunderland defence, whips the ball in towards Sane, who does get the ball in the back of the net, but it's gone down as a Luis Sobral goal. I'm not sure how the game's done that, but it's 5-1. Cook to running. Now Sobral in a good area finds Zivkovic, who tucks it home for 6. Sane into running. Sane sends a cross in. Willems cuts it out. Sends it back to the keeper. It's cleared forward. There's Imperiale. Now Felipe Augusto can swing it across. It's come out again. Lewis Cook. Now Sane. Running across the defenders. Pushes it out wide to Augusto. 3 in the middle to Aymer. He's found Zivkovic. And he's found the back of the net for 7-1. Zivkovic with the corner. He's been a super sub. Sane with the header. There's Imperiale. It falls for Bob, who makes up for his earlier mistake with the 8th goal. Imperiale through to Sobral. There's Zivkovic. He's tackled, but Imperiale tries to pick it up. Willems does clear it forward to Isoro. He's lost the ball to Cook. Ball pitched forward. It's fallen again, and the ball in behind for Sané was brilliant. He's got in on goal, and the keeper didn't even try to save that. That's 9-1. What a flurry of goals this has been. Imperiale looking to make double digits if we can against Sunderland, which is just incredible. Roning puts the cross in, it's cleared away. There's Imperiale, forced it wide to Augusto. It's like 6 players in the middle. It's come across and Sané makes 10. It's 10-1 against Sunderland, and this is probably the greatest game of football, or most enjoyable game of football I've had as a Newcastle fan on Football Manager. 10-1 against Sunderland. That is just incredible, and revenge has certainly been served after they knocked us out of the FA Cup last season. That is just phenomenal. Well, I have absolutely no words for that result. It needs a special mention. There were hat-tricks for Gareth Breen and Leroy Sané. Zivkovic came on as a substitute and got 2. Sobral got 1, and Bob made up for his mistake with a goal as well. 10-1 against Sunderland, and that is easily one of the greatest matches in FA Cup history. Well, there's only one way to celebrate beating Sunderland, and that's by signing Lionel Messi. This episode is going from sensible to silly very, very quickly. I mean, Messi is definitely a vanity signing, a little bit like Ronaldo was. He'll do a job on the right winger up front. He'll get a few games before he retires at the end of the season. But he's still got incredible stats. That finishing, first touch, free kick taking, crossing, corners, passing, technique, they're all incredible. It's just his physicals that are letting him down. But I think in our team, with lots of passing and possession, he will do very, very well for us. Well, we're back against Sunderland now after that 10-1 victory, and it could get even worse for them. We're at home still. It's pretty much the same team going out there. The only change is that we've now got Messi available on the right wing. So if you thought it couldn't get any worse, Sunderland fans, it's just about to. Sami Tuck will continue in goal. I've been quite impressed with his performances in the 2 matches. He's not had much to do, but when he has, he's done quite well. It's only the goal that Bob allowed to happen that's really gone in against him, so I'm happy with him as a backup goalkeeper. And otherwise, there's not any actual changes to the team whatsoever. Sané dropped to the bench, and no changes in defence either. So hopefully we can pick up where we left off and get another 10 goals. Bob plays it forward to Kovacic. It's the first highlight of the game. It's not been as action-packed as the last time we played Sunderland. They've clearly upped their game, although they've only had 1 shot and it was off target. But here they come with Willems. I'm a little bit concerned by that. He puts the ball across and Asoro's hit the woodwork. Definitely a warning shot from Sunderland. Corner from Kovacic towards the back post. And I think there was a shove in there. We might have a penalty if the game lows. It is. Shalvan has forced somebody to the ground and we've got a penalty. I think it might be Lionel Messi on his debut to take this penalty. It is. He steps up and it's saved by Archer. Messi couldn't finish a penalty on his debut. Bob's won the tackle. Kovacic puts it forward. Sané onto it. Gareth Breen's got in. That's a beautiful bit of control from Breen. And he slots the ball in the back of the net to give us a lead. Well, it would have been nearly impossible to follow up that 10-1 win any better, so I will happily take a 3rd victory in a row in this episode and 2 victories over Sunderland in a row. More importantly, it's a shame Messi couldn't get the penalty in on his debut, but luckily Gareth Breen was there for his 4th goal in 2 games since becoming our record signing. Well, away from home against Stoke, we're using the away tactic. Messi is going to sit this game out so that Sobral and Breen can occupy the front 2 positions with Imperiale just behind them. Melagoni, Kovacic and Cook continue across the midfield. I think we've got a week's break after this game, so I'm not too worried about poor fitness. Linord comes in for Lucas, who got injured at left back. Bob and Mamana continue in central defence with Felipe Augusto on the right, and Sami Tuck continues in goal. Larry. Back to Augustinson. Push inside to Evans. That's a great ball inside, and Luka has got onto the end of it and fired it into the bottom corner. Luka Jovic with the goal, and we've got work to do to come back now. Augusto. Forced into the corner. Tries to pull the ball back. Melagoni's shot blocked, but Augusto into Breen, who finds the back of the net to pull us level. Messi's corner. Cleared out by Augustinson, running, gets to it. Sane, the substitute, has a shot. It's gone into the back of the net. It's a Mensah own goal, but Sane's the man who delivered the strike. Well, Stoke certainly gave us a big scare today, but it's another away victory, and those are very nice words to be saying. We've said them a lot this season, and it keeps the pressure up on the top. We are unfortunately taking on some very, very difficult to beat teams in United and City, but I think if we keep this form up, we will go top of the table eventually. We're back on the home formation for a match against a struggling Everton side who are actually fighting relegation. They're down in 17th place. I'm hoping we can capitalise. We've had a week's break and we've got a lot of fresh players in the team. Breen is going to lead the line with Paulo Roberto and Sane on the wings. Kovacic and Imperiale are joined by Cook in midfield. Then Lidlord, Bob, Mamana and Augusto make up the back four. Sammy Tuck in goal. Ketchel is also back on the bench, which is great news. Messi is available if we need him, but I'm hoping we should get a couple of goals by half-time and set this match to bed early on. Paulo Roberto coming down the left wing, pulls it inside towards Imperiale. It was a poor ball inside. Imperiale does have it though, and he finds Sane. Can he pick the ball out? He's found Lennard. He puts it in, and Paulo Roberto is there on the 6-yard box to slot it in for his 7th of the season. Imperiale finds Kovacic. He sends the ball out wide to Lennard, sends it across. Breen's in there for Paulo Roberto to bury the ball in. An excellent and very clever assist from Breen. Vieto back to Danilo. Now Yates-Lloyd forward to Vieto again. Not sure where Everton are going with this. I think they're going to look for a ball over the top. It's Yates-Lloyd who finds Vieto, and he is a clinical finisher from that position. He's on 10 for the season. Felipe Augusto across to Kovacic. He sends it wide for Lennard, who can put the cross in, and Tar has tried to cut it out. Instead, it's deflected off him and gone into the back of the net. There's a full-time whistle. It is another victory in the league, a very good one at that. Breen with another excellent performance, but it was Paulo Roberto, the left winger, who put in the man of the match performance, and it means that Arsenal can no longer catch us despite their 2 games in hand. It also means that we're now 15 points clear in the race for Champions League football. That's pretty much guaranteed at this point. It's all about if we can hunt down Manchester United and close that 6-point gap they've got at the top of the table. I do just want to show you Manchester United's form at the moment. There's a reason we haven't been able to close down that gap at the top, and it's because they've won, I think that's 11 of their last 12 games. They've only lost 1 match all season. That was away against Norwich very early on, but they've been absolutely unstoppable since then. Draws with City and Arsenal to be expected, but they've beaten Leicester, Chelsea, Spurs twice. It's such a good run of form. They do still have a lot of big games to come against the likes of Liverpool, City, Arsenal and Chelsea, but so do we, and they're going to be so tough to stop this season. Well, we're looking to end this episode with 6 straight victories, but to do that we need to beat bogey team West Ham away from home in the Premier League. We absolutely have to win this to keep up the pressure on the 2 Manchester clubs who are having such brilliant seasons. The good thing about this game is that Ketchel is back from injury. He's in goal, as is Morten Simonsen up front, which means we get to see Simonsen, Breen and Imperiale all playing up front for the first time. Just Simonsen and Breen alone is great, but the fact that Imperiale will be playing in the hole behind them is just brilliant. We've also got full-strength midfield of Melagoni, Kovacic and Cook. Lennard partners Bob and Mamana alongside Augusto, so I think that's the only position that doesn't have their first choice player, Lucas being injured and Lennard having to play ahead of him, but Lennard is expected to replace Lucas eventually as the left back. So this is a very strong team, the first time we've got our strongest 11 out there, and I want to finish with a perfect episode. Kovacic back to Bob, now Lennard into Kovacic again, little triangle. Imperiale to Breen. Can he link up with Simonsen? Instead he finds Cook, who's having a run. Picks out Augusto. 4 players in the middle to aim at. Breen's one of them, but he's put the header wide. Slight. Loses the ball to Lennard, but we can't keep it. And here's Slight again. Finds cheeky Masonda. He dinks it forward for Tyser. He can send it in. Kovacic has just put that past Ketchel, and we've got 20 minutes to try and save an embarrassing defeat. No, there's a full-time whistle. We have been beaten by West Ham. It's a really annoying defeat. We have to be beating West Ham because at the moment it's almost guaranteed drop points. And we're now 9 points behind Manchester United, and this title is already slipping away with 14 games to go. It's going to take a sensational collapse for us to catch up with the two Manchester clubs from this point. And it's going to be so frustrating if we go another season without winning this title. Well, that is the end of this episode. We maybe shouldn't be too disheartened. We did win 5 games on the bounce before that defeat away against West Ham. Next episode, we've got some very big games. We have the Barcelona away match in the Champions League knockout stages. We also have to take on Manchester United at home. That's the big game. If we don't win that match, there is almost no chance of winning the title. If we get beaten, the title race is for sure going to be over and we can focus on other competitions. But that is just not what I want at the moment. We need to get through the FA Cup against Birmingham away as well. So lots to look forward to. It's been a pretty action-packed episode, this one. That 10-1 victory over Sunderland will always be one of my all-time Football Manager highlights. So make sure you drop a like on the video if you enjoy reading that scoreline against the scum. Please subscribe if you haven't already. It'd be great to get as many people following the channel as possible. It does help the channel grow. But until next time, see ya.